What does it mean to be truly mighty? Is power about having money? Is it about being able to burn like the sun or stand tall like a mountain? Throughout human history, we have asked, who is the strongest being in the world? Welcome back to Mighty Tales with English. I am glad you are here. Today we are going to tell an ancient story about the search for ultimate power, the Stonecutter's wish. But this is not just a story, it is a lesson. As we travel through this tale, we will stop 6 times to learn 6 mighty words, advanced vocabulary that will make your English stronger. Are you ready to begin the journey? Let's go. Once upon a time, in a land of high hills and scorching summers, there lived a stonecutter. His life was incredibly hard. Every morning before the sun rose, he walked up the steep path to the great mountain. There, for 10 hours a day, he swung his heavy hammer. Clang, clang, clang. He chipped away at the solid rock faces, cutting heavy blocks of granite to build houses for other people. His hands were covered in calluses, thick, rough skin from hard work. His clothes were always dusty and torn. At the end of every day, his back ached, and his spirit felt empty. He did not make much money, barely enough for food. He said in a sad voice, "This rock is stronger than I am. It breaks my body, and I barely make a scratch on it." One particularly hot afternoon, as the stonecutter was resting, a magnificent carriage drove past. The carriage was made of polished wood and gold. Inside sat a rich merchant. The merchant wore robes made of fine purple silk, and he looked cool, comfortable, and important. He didn't even look at the dirty stonecutter. The stonecutter dropped his hammer. A dark, burning feeling spread through his chest. He looked at his own dirty hands, and then at the merchant's gold. He realized he did not just want the merchant's money, he wanted his life. Let's look at that feeling. Our first mighty word is envy. Envy is a noun. It is that painful feeling you get when someone else has something you want, like success, money, or happiness. It is a mix of jealousy and sadness. Here is an example. He felt deep envy when he saw his neighbor's new house. The stonecutter was filled with envy. Let's see what that envy made him do. The stonecutter said jealously, "Oh, I am so miserable. Why must I work like a slave while others rest? I wish I were that rich merchant. Then I would be powerful and happy." And a voice sounded from the sky. "Your wish is heard." In an instant, his hammer was gone. He was sitting inside the golden carriage. He was dressed in the finest silks. He had become the rich merchant. At first, it was wonderful. He had servants to bring him cold drinks. He had soft beds to sleep in. He traveled through the town, and people bowed to him. But the money changed him quickly. When he saw his old friends, the other poor workers, he did not wave hello. He looked down on them. He felt that because he was rich, he was better than them. This is a dangerous feeling. Our second mighty word is arrogant. Arrogant is an adjective. It describes someone who believes they are more important, smarter, or better than other people. An arrogant person is too proud. Here is an example. The rich man was so arrogant that he refused to speak to the waiters. The merchant had become arrogant. But was he the strongest? One day, summer arrived with brutal force. The heat was intense. Even inside his luxurious carriage, the merchant was sweating. His fine silks stuck to his skin. He looked up at the sky angrily. The sun did not care about his money. The sun burned the rich and the poor equally. The stonecutter said angrily, "I am not the strongest. The sun is stronger than any king or merchant. It forces us all to hide. I wish I were the sun." And a voice sounded from the sky. "Your wish is heard." In an instant, he rose higher and higher into the sky. He became the sun. He felt incredible energy coursing through him. He was massive. He looked down at the earth far below. He saw the tiny carriages, the tiny kings, the tiny cities. They all seemed meaningless now. He decided to test his new power. He shone his light down with all his might. He burned the fields. He dried up the rivers. He made the farmers run for shade. He felt magnificent and terrible. Let's define this heat. Our third mighty word is scorching. Scorching is an adjective. It doesn't just mean hot, it means extremely, intensely burning hot. It's heat that can damage things. Example: we could not walk on the beach because the sand was scorching. He was the scorching sun. Nothing could stop him. Or so he thought. As he was enjoying his fiery power, something drifted between him and the earth. It was a giant, dark, heavy storm cloud. The sun became angry. He shone harder. He tried to burn the cloud away, but the cloud was too thick. It absorbed his heat and blocked his mighty beams. The earth below fell into shadow. Frustrated, the stonecutter said, "The cloud is stronger than I am. It can turn off my light whenever it wants. I wish I were that cloud." In an instant, he became the cloud. He felt heavy, dark, and full of chaotic energy. He decided to show his power. He unleashed a massive storm. The wind howled, lightning flashed, and rain poured down in buckets. He flooded the valleys and washed away bridges. What kind of rain was this? Our fourth mighty word is torrential. Torrential is an adjective, usually used to describe rain. It means rain that falls very fast and in massive amounts. Example: the torrential rain caused flash floods in the city. He was a torrential storm, the most destructive force on earth. The cloud blew his mighty winds and poured his torrential rain against everything he saw. Trees fell over, houses washed away. But then, he pushed against the great mountain, the same mountain he used to cut stone from. He blew with all his strength against the rock face, but the mountain did not move. It didn't shake. It didn't even seem to notice the storm. It just stood there, silent and solid. The stonecutter said again, "The mountain is stronger than the storm. It ignores my power completely. I wish I were the mountain." In an instant, he became the mountain. He felt ancient. He felt heavy. He felt eternal. The sun beat on him, but he did not burn. The clouds rained on him, but he did not move. He was rock. He was the foundation of the earth. The stonecutter said with pride, "Finally, this is it. I am the mightiest thing in the world. Nothing can hurt me. Nothing can change me." He felt secure. Our fifth mighty word is immovable. Immovable is an adjective. It describes something that cannot be moved or changed. It is completely fixed in place. Example: the giant boulder in the road was immovable, so we had to drive around it. He was the immovable mountain. He stood there proudly for a long time. But then, one morning, he felt something. It was a tiny vibration near his base, a sharp, irritating pain. Clink, clink, clink. He looked down. There, standing at his feet, was a tiny human being. It was a stonecutter. The stonecutter was swinging a hammer and chisel. Crack! A large piece of the mountain broke away. The mountain felt a terror he had never known. This tiny, soft creature, this human, had the power to break him apart. The human could change the shape of the mountain. The human was stronger than the rock. The stonecutter finally said, "I wish to be a man again." In an instant, he was back. He was dressed in his dusty clothes. His hands were rough. The heavy hammer was in his grip. He was just a simple stonecutter. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and looked at the mountain. He looked at his hands. He realized that the ability to work, to change things, to build, and to create was a power greater than the sun or the stone. He went back to work. He was still poor. The work was still hard. But something inside him had changed. The burning envy was gone. Our final and most important mighty word is content. To be content means to be peacefully happy with what you have. It is the opposite of envy. It means you are satisfied. Example: he didn't need to be rich to be happy. He was content with his simple life. The stonecutter had been rich, he had been powerful, and he had been terrifying. But he was only truly happy when he was just himself. Which of these forms do you think was truly the strongest? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to make your English mighty, keep practicing, stay content, and subscribe to our channel. I will see you in the next video.